When I was 12, my mom finally started trusting me enough to stay home alone. We lived in this peaceful, safe little town, quiet streets, big yards, friendly neighbors, and this cute village downtown with shops and restaurants. Not the kind of place where you'd ever feel nervous walking alone at night. That's probably why my parents were cool leaving me by myself so young. I still live in that same house with my parents. That particular night was a weekend, and they were heading out. When my sister and I were little, our grandparents used to babysit. But since she wasn't around that night and I was old enough, they decided to let me fly solo. My parents had us young, so they were still pretty active, always traveling or hanging out with friends on weekends. They left me cash for a pizza dinner. Perfect setup for a 12-year-old house to myself, video games all night, pizza. I was obsessed with James Bond games back then, replaying *Nightfire* on my PS2 for like the third time. After finishing the game, I ordered a large pizza from Gianni's, our family's go-to spot just a few blocks away. It's been closed for years now. At 12, I could easily put away 3 slices. Mom told me to wrap the leftovers in foil and fridge them. I popped in another Bond game, *Agent Under Fire*, while I waited. When the doorbell finally rang, I grabbed the $20 and ran downstairs. Mom said to tip $4, totally fair for such a short drive. The delivery guy looked rough, maybe in his 30s, long, scraggly beard, glasses, wearing a black trucker hat. I handed him the 20 and asked for specific change. As he counted it out, he glanced past me into the house and asked, "You here all by yourself?" Creepy question. My parents taught me stranger danger, so I blurted out, "My parents are on their way home." Dumb answer, honestly. I should have just said no. But I knew why he asked. No cars in the driveway, just a kid answering the door. I took the change, slammed the door and locked it. I ate 3 slices, wrapped up the rest, and headed back upstairs to game. Hours passed. Around 11 p.m., the doorbell rang again. Thinking it was my parents, I yelled, "Mom! Dad!" through the door. A stranger's voice answered, "Hey, I need help. Gotta use a phone." "Who is this?" "Just need a phone, man." Too scared to peek, I decided to ignore him and started upstairs. Bang! He hammered on the door. "Wait, please, I need help." He'd seen me through the glass panel above the door. I froze halfway up the stairs. It was pitch black on the porch, but I could make out the shape of his head, and I knew he was staring right at me. I bolted upstairs to my parents' room, the only phone upstairs, and dialed Mom's cell. She answered, sounding a little tipsy, but sobered up fast when I whispered, "There's a guy at the door trying to get in." "Did you answer him? Does he know you're alone?" Her voice was tight with panic. The doorbell rang again, twice. I told her about the pizza guy asking if I was alone. "Lock yourself in our room, right now, lights off. We're calling the cops." She stayed on the line with me while Dad called 911. Summer night, windows cracked open. I heard the side gate to the backyard creak open slowly, quietly. "Mom, he's in the yard." Just stay quiet." I was starting to calm down when I heard footsteps. Inside the house. Downstairs. Someone walking around. I choked it out to Mom. She screamed into the other phone, "He's inside the house. Hurry, get under the bed, now." For my 12-year-old self, this was pure nightmare fuel. That flimsy little lock on their bedroom door felt like my only shield. Footsteps on the stairs. They paused near my sister's in my room down the hall. Then they came closer. Down the hallway, to my parents' door. The knob jiggled. Click, click, click. Locked. A soft knock, no words. The knob jiggled once more. Then footsteps retreated down the hall, down the stairs, fading away. I didn't dare breathe. Didn't make a sound. Mom finally whispered, "Cops are here. Stay put." Suddenly, heavy boots pounded up the stairs. A man shouted my name. "Your name? Police. Coming in." Mom told me to unlock the door. 2 cops were upstairs, 2 more downstairs. They hadn't kicked in the front door. The sliding glass back door was wide open, the obvious point of entry. I told the cops everything, including about the pizza guy, with my parents listening in. They raced home. Later, they took me to Gianni's. When I didn't see the driver, they described him to the manager. "That's Phil. He's on a run." After hearing what happened, the manager snapped, "No way it was Phil. Get out." My parents made a scene, vowed never to return, and we waited in the parking lot for almost an hour. Phil never showed. Maybe the manager warned him. My parents talked to lawyers, but no one took the case. Not enough proof. Waste of time. We never went back to Gianni's, and it was a long, long time before my parents let me stay home alone again. I still believe it was the pizza guy, or someone he told. Who else knew I was by myself that night? When I was a teen, my parents and I moved from California to deep secluded woods in North Idaho. They retired and built their dream house, massive two-story place with a gym, full bar, pool room, even a legit home theater in the basement. No neighbors for miles, just endless forest backing up to national parkland and logging areas. Seemed perfect, remote, quiet, too perfect. I was dating my high school girlfriend at the time. One night when my parents were out, I invited her over. We were totally alone. I snagged a beer underage, but whatever, and we headed down to the theater to watch Gladiator *. Things were fine until around midnight, halfway through the movie. Out of nowhere, this primal fight or flight feeling hit me like a ton of bricks. My heart raced. I kept glancing at the uncovered windows behind us, staring into the pitch black woods. I didn't say anything to freak her out, but the whole time, I knew we were being watched. After the movie, I walked her to her car. The house felt dead quiet again. As she drove off, I remembered I'd left all the downstairs lights on, went back down, turned off the theater lights, and froze. There, outside the big window facing the backyard, was a man. He looked homeless, wild hair, filthy clothes, but it was his face that stopped me cold. He had the creepiest fucking smile I'd ever seen, eyes wide and totally vacant. And in his hand, a knife? He was gently tapping the blade against the glass. Tap, 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 asterisk. I backed away slowly and went to turn off the bar lights. That room had a sliding glass door to the woods. I hit the switch and watched in horror as the man calmly walked from the window to the door, still smiling, still staring. We were less than a foot apart, just glass between us. He didn't try the handle. He didn't move. He just watched. I bolted upstairs just as my parents walked in. I think I'm losing it, I gasped. I swear I just saw a guy with a knife outside watching me. Mom went pale. Dad's eyes narrowed. Without a word, he went to the gun safe, grabbed his rifle and stormed outside. Mom explained there'd been reports of a guy wandering the woods trying to break into homes. My description matched. Cops had been called before but found nothing. No signs, no tracks. That should have been it, but it wasn't. That night, trying to sleep, I heard it. A faint tap. Tap asterisk coming from below my room, right above the theater. Like metal on glass. It went on for hours. This happened night after night for weeks. Sometimes stopping, sometimes waking me at 3 a.m. I even thought I heard footsteps on the roof once. I never saw anyone, but the feeling of being watched, stalked, wouldn't leave. Winter came. My parents had to go out of town for a few days. Still nervous, they left me a shotgun. We also had a big Rottweiler, Tank, the sweetest, quietest dog, unless something was really wrong. One freezing night, alone, I heard slow, heavy crunching footsteps in the fresh snow outside. Tank stood up, ears pinned back, and let out this low, rumbling growl at the front door. Then he exploded into furious barking, the kind he only did for real threats. I froze, didn't make a sound. Then came the knock, slow, hollow, taunting. I didn't answer. Slept with the shotgun and Tank that night. Next morning I found fresh footprints, human footprints, circling the entire house. Stopping beneath every single window like someone was trying to peer inside. I followed them into the woods for half a mile before they started zigzagging crazily, looping back on themselves, clearly trying to lose anyone following. A cold dread hit me. I turned back. That night the tapping returned, louder. I knew it was him. I grabbed the shotgun, unlocked the door, and stepped onto the second-floor deck. I hit the backyard floodlights. There he was. Same man. Same dead, empty eyes. Same knife. Staring right up at me. I raised the shotgun. Get off my property or I'll blow a hole through you. He didn't flinch, didn't blink, just kept staring, grinning. I fired a warning shot into the air. Boom. That got a reaction. He staggered, then slowly started backing into the woods, never taking his eyes off me. That's when I let Tank loose. I sprinted downstairs, yanked open the sliding door, and shouted, "Go! Get him!" Tank shot out like a black bullet, snarling like a demon, a side of him I'd never seen. He had a shock collar, so he couldn't go far, but I like to think he chased that bastard off for good. After that night, never saw him again. This happened in March 2022, spring break of my sophomore year. 6 of us, me, Matt, Chris, Tyler, Jess, and Sarah, rented a cheap cabin way out in the South Carolina backwoods. Supposed to be a quiet getaway. Too much booze, loud music, no phones. Just friends relaxing. The cabin was huge for the price. 2 stories, wraparound porch, 2 baths, supposedly on private land near a lake. Asterisk way, asterisk off the grid. The owner had a thick accent and sounded kinda off on the phone. His only warning, don't wander too deep, old wells, busted fences, snakes out there. Easy to get lost. We laughed it off thinking he was just trying to be spooky. The drive took forever. GPS died an hour out. The last stretch was a barely their dirt track through thickening trees. When we finally pulled up, the cabin looked nothing like the pictures. It was older, dirtier, windows grimy, shutters hanging off. The place smelled faintly of rot and damp wood. We shrugged it off. Adds character. Unpacked, claimed rooms, started drinking by 7 p.m. First night was fun. Grilled outside, blasted music, played cards. Around 11 p.m. it got cold, so we moved inside. That's when I noticed the woods, not just dark. Asterisk pitch black. Asterisk, the porch lights barely cut through a few feet. The trees pressed in, dense and silent. No bugs, no wind, just ... heavy quiet. We crashed around 2 a.m. I had a small ground floor room next to the kitchen, window facing the woods. Around 4:15 a.m., I jolted awake for no reason. Heart pounding. Then I heard it. Asterisk tap ... tap ... asterisk not the heater. Steady, deliberate, like fingernails. I looked at the window. A man was pressed against the glass. Face almost smushed flat. Pale skin. Wild hair. Shirtless. Staring in. Mouth slightly open. Eyes wide. Unblinking. He kept tapping. Soft. Slow. Like he was teasing me. Asterisk tap ... tap ... asterisk I whispered. Matt. He was asleep on the couch outside my door. Matt. He woke up groggy. What? I pointed, shaking. He looked. Saw the man. Jumped up, knocking over the coffee table. The noise must have scared the guy off. By the time Matt flipped the porch light and ran out, he was gone. We were all up, girls terrified. Tyler said it was just a drunk local messing with us. Chris guessed a lost hunter. I knew better. He wasn't lost. We barricaded the doors, shoved the couch against the big living room window, and took shifts, staying awake. Nothing else happened. Next morning ... footprints, barefoot human footprints, circling the entire cabin. Stopping beneath asterisk every window asterisk, even the tiny one way up in the shower. That should have been our cue to leave. But we were dumb and stubborn. We stayed. Night 2 started, drinks, music, fire pit. But the vibe was dead. Everyone kept glancing at the woods. Jess didn't drink. Chris kept his hunting knife on his belt. Inside, we double-locked everything. Around 3:30 a.m., Matt went to the kitchen for water. He stopped dead in the hallway. My name. His voice was tight. I got up. He pointed into the kitchen. The man from last night was asterisk inside asterisk, naked. His back was to us, covered in fresh, angry-looking scratches. He was swaying slightly, just staring at the fridge like he didn't know what it was. Matt backed up silently. We all gathered at the hallway entrance. I had my pocket knife. Sarah grabbed the fireplace poker. Chris held a chair leg he'd snapped off earlier trying to be funny. We flipped on the kitchen light. He was gone. The back door stood wide open, not broken, not forced, just ... open. We were packed and in the car within 20 minutes. No arguments, just grabbed essentials. We drove until we had a bar of signal and called the sheriff. Met a deputy at a diner off the highway. He didn't look surprised. Anyone hurt? Then yeah, we got some folks squatting up in those woods. Not always right in the head. We tried explaining it wasn't just some homeless guy. He watched us. Came back 2 nights and got inside, somehow had a key. The deputy just nodded like he'd heard it all before. When we mentioned the owner, his expression shifted slightly like he knew him. The cabin listing vanished from every rental site a few days later. We never got answers, never got a call back, never even got our deposit back. But that face, staring through the window, I still see it sometimes when I wake up in the dark. We don't talk about that trip much. And as far as I know, none of us have been back to South Carolina since